All right, for least common multiple, in number one, we're going to find the LCM, or least common multiple, of 18 and 12. The very first thing that we're going to do when we find the LCM is we're going to find the GCF of both numbers, just like we've done before. So remember, this is a review of GCF also. To find the GCF, we start off by doing the prime factorization of each number. So I'm going to do the prime factorization of 18. So that can be 2 times 9. 2 is a prime number. 9 factors into 3 times 3. 3 is prime. I've done the prime factorization of 18. The other number was 12, which factors into 3 times 4. That's one way to do it. And 4 factors into 2 times 2. Okay, again, step 1 in doing LCM is to find the GCF. So the prime factors of 18 are 2 times 3 times 3. And the prime factors of 12 are 2 times 2 times 3. Remember, it's easier if you write the prime factors in ascending order. All right, I see that both lists have 2s, both lists have 3s, and that's it. Now, the GCF is going to be 2 times 3, or 6. Remember, the task was to find the LCM. So, to find the LCM, step 1, find your GCF. So, we've just reviewed how to do GCF. Step 2, take the product of your numbers. My numbers were 18 and 12. Remember, product means the answer to multiplication. So if I want the product of 18 and 12, that means I'm multiplying 18 and 12 together. So I'm going to do that next, and we'll kind of do this part a little quickly. 8, that'd be 1. And I get 216. Once you have the product of your numbers and you have the GCF of your numbers, take the quotient of the product and the GCF. That means divide. So I'm going to say 216 divided by 6. So 6 won't go into 2. 6 will go into 21 3 times. 3 times 6 is 18. When we subtract, we get 3. Bring down our next number. 6 goes into 36. 6 times. With none left over. Now, when you do this quotient, you should not get a remainder. If you're getting a remainder, then we've made a mistake somewhere. Okay, just for your information. The LCM is going to be the quotient, which is 36. So I'm going to even write that right here. My LCM of 18 and 12 is 36. My least common multiple of 18 and 12 is 36. Let's try another one. Let's do the third problem. You have to find the LCM of 6 and 10. Now remember, we're going to first find the GCF. So by doing the LCM, we are reviewing how to do greatest common factor and how to just do prime factorization. So my first number is 6. I'm going to find the GCF first. Remember to do that. I do the prime factorization, which we are pros at by this point. So 6 just factors into 2 times 3. The other number was 10, which can only factor into 2 times 5. So I'm finding my GCF first. The factors of 6, prime factors, are 2 and 3. The prime factors of 10 are 2 and 5. We see that our GCF here is 2. Okay? Once we've found the GCF, now take the product of your numbers, which in this case were 6 and 10. Now the product is the answer to multiplication. So 6 times 10, I already know that is 60. Divide your product by your GCF. So you want to say 60 divided by 2. This is one that we could probably do in our heads. 60 divided by 2 is 30. So your LCM, I'll write it really clearly here, of the LCM, least common multiple, of 6 and 10 is going to be 30. Again, if you know how to do prime factorization and you know how to do greatest common factor, it's just one extra step. Let's do number 5. Our numbers are 14 and 12. Step 1, find the GCF. We do that by doing the prime factorization. So that's going to be 2 times 7, both prime. And we'll do the prime factorization of 12, which we actually did in a previous problem. We did that in number 1. So I'm just going to very quickly copy that work down from number 1. Again, I'm finding the greatest common factor, GCF, of 14 and 12, 21st. We see that the GCF of these two numbers is going to be 2. Now we take the product of 14 and 12. This is that extra step. The product of 14 and 12. I don't know that off the top of my head, so I'm going to multiply that out. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. I need my placeholder. 1 times 4 is 4, and 1 times 1 is 1. We add up, and we get 168. Once you've got your product, you want to divide it by your greatest common factor, which in this case is 2. So I'm going to say 168 divided by 2. That answer, the quotient, is going to be my least common multiple. 2 doesn't go into 1. It goes into 16 8 times. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 minus 16 gave me 0. Bring down my next number of 8. 2 goes into 8 4 times with none left over. Again, if you got a remainder, then you have made a mistake somewhere. Okay, you shouldn't get a remainder when you have to divide your product by your GCF. So here my LCM, this is my answer, is 84. The least common multiple of 14 and 12 is going to be 84. Let's try one more problem. Number 7 is asking for the least common multiple of 18 and 20. Again, step 1, we'll do the prime factorization of 18. That breaks down into, let's do 3 times 6 this time. So 3 is prime, and 6 breaks down into 2 times 3, which are both prime. Now I'm going to do the prime factorization of 20. I'll factor that into 4 times 5. 4 breaks down into 2 times 2, and we know that 5 is a prime number. Again, I'm going to go ahead and find the greatest common factor, the GCF of 18 and 20 first. So 18 factors into 2 times 3 times 3, listing those prime factors in ascending order or least to greatest, same thing. 20 factors into 2 times 2 times 5. See, there's a 2 in both lists. That's it. So my GCF is 2. But remember, the question was what is the LCM? So to find the LCM, once you've got your GCF, take your product of your numbers. So the product of 18 and 20, that means I'm going to multiply those two together. That's 0, 0, placeholder. 2 times 8 is 16. So I get a product of 360. That is not your GCF, because I now need to take that product and divide it by the GCF of 2. I'm sorry, I said this wasn't the GCF. I meant to say it wasn't the LCM. Alright, so 2 would go into 3 once, with 1 left over. Bringing down my next number of 6. 2 goes into 16 8 times. None left over. You still have another number to bring down, that 0. 2 goes into 0 0 times. 0 times 2 is 0. There's not another number to bring down. My remainder is 0, so I'm finished. The LCM of 18 and 20 is 180.